Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. We're here, as always, at Anarchy Brew. Remember, you can get involved. Get yourself some delicious array of alcoholic beverages on their website by scanning that QR code or hitting the link in the description. I'm actually being good today, okay? Got the old placebo effect, 0.5%.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm being good. You're trying the new one, the Urban Rhythm.
I almost copied you, but I thought, we've got the placebo, we've got the nice Urban Rhythm there. That's a new one. IPA 4.4, lovely stuff. And the classic Skin Deep Volume 2. This is a new one. I think it came out last week, didn't it?
It did. I tried it last week, didn't it? Yeah, sorry.
Give it a little tipple.
Sorry, have a little tipple. And as you can see, people, your comments are popping up on the screen there live now in the bottom corner. Nice new feature we've got going on there. So as you can see, I don't have to actually individually click the comment anymore like that. However, I will do that for super chats, extra attention for them and extra answers for those ones. But as you can see, your chats just come at the bottom corner there. Lovely stuff. If you are subscribed, you have to be subscribed as well to drop them comments. So just click the subscribe button if you haven't already and get your thoughts in the chat. Right then, let's start off, Keg, at the Arsenal game. The defeat at the Emirates. We're a bit gutted about that one because obviously we missed the chance to go second. That was a big blow. I was excited for that one. Me and you watched it at Fleet Street in the Toon. Enjoyed that one. Probably a bit too much, actually. That's why I'm on the placebos.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on the placebos.
A few days later,
a few days later, still on it. So, listen, the first half was really good, wasn't it? But second half, not so much.
Yeah, it was just a bit lackluster, wasn't it? I don't know. It was just disappointing because we've beat them 3 times this season already. We're still waiting for that first league win at the Emirates in what's got to be about 15 years now.
2011, I think,
wasn't it? Yeah, so nearly 15 years. We haven't won a league game there. We kind of ripped that bandage off earlier in the season in the cup, but that league void's still there, unfortunately. And that's one thing for me that's got to change in the coming years. Like, we know we're shit at the Emirates, the Etihad, Anfield, at Stamford Bridge, and we can't even win at Bournemouth or Brighton. So there are things that's got to change for me. Like, I think it's still like small club mentality that we'll go to these teams and we kind of fear them a little bit. But I feel like this one wasn't like the fear that it was like the Etihad when we got beat a couple of months ago. Like that, we just completely like went into a shell in that game. That was a shambles. But yeah, this one, like, it started well. Like the first 20 minutes or so, I thought we're going to batter these. I felt like we absolutely dominated them. Like,
I think we would have went on to batter them as well if we had scored.
Yeah, get an early goal, set the tone. I feel like Arteta might have gone into his shell after that because he's already been beat 3 times this season. What you hate is getting beat off Etihad.
Yeah, with them tears, haven't you?
I'd love to have seen them tears. So yeah, I feel like an early goal, he would have been rattled, wouldn't know how to come back from it. But yeah, we're just. It was just a frustrating game, to be honest. Like, I think they were there for the taking early on. But then, we came out second half. Like, I think we made some changes. I just don't think we were comfortable in our setup. I don't know if it was the formation or the personnel. Maybe it's a bit of both. Not having Isak, not having someone like Dominic, like Joelinton on there, and having both Barnes and Gordon on, and bit of a back 5, bit of rotation. Wilson instead of Isak. It was just a bit messy, I felt like. So yeah, we just couldn't get that goal. I think even taking a point away would have been fine.
Yeah,
it would have been in a good position getting a point. But yeah, it was just a bit of a drab game. As the longer it went on, it just felt like nothing was going to happen for us.
Nah, second half you didn't see enough. I was thinking at half time, I think we're going to rue missing those chances in the first half, and even Tino went in, didn't he, towards the end of the break, and she's getting a nosebleed being in the box there, absolutely crap himself, turned back on himself. But it was just, what can you do in a sense where David Raya was pulling off some great saves?
He had a good game to me.
I thought
give that to him.
I thought Bruno should have scored, but then again, it was a good save. You had Barnes, you had Byrne with a close range header. Sometimes you can just see how a game is going to pan out. When a keeper's playing that well, you think,
this is no day. Like,
there's
not much you can do about that. Like, we tried our best. Like, their keeper was absolutely on fire. So, not a lot you can do about that. Unfortunately, you just got to try a little bit harder. But I just don't think we really had it in. I think we were throwing the kitchen sink at them almost, and we just didn't really have anything left to give.
I think we did run out of ideas, didn't we? Run out of steam, and talk about in a minute, run out of options off the bench for sure. Had that feeling of, the penultimate game of the season, and I don't know. I think there's something in what you're saying there about, the record at these places. Does it play a factor? Because even though we came over that in the League Cup this year,
Yeah,
under the lights and all that, just
still in the
sunny
league,
day at the
yeah.
Emirates there and wearing the new kit and everything, you just think, we're
No,
going to do it, and we couldn't do it. And I just think once we finally do win there in the league and we'll get that off us, then
yeah.
hopefully we can kick on. But it is those away games that are tough, man. You mentioned the obvious ones, the Etihads and your Anfields, where no matter how good we're playing or how bad they're playing, they always seem to have our number.
Yeah.
And then even, like you say, Eddie Howe cannot win at Bournemouth. That's the case.
Brighton and Bournemouth.
That must be in his contract when he left that. Like, he never ever beat Bournemouth. Never ever eat cherries. And then Brighton as well. Brighton, unless it's Mo Diarmi's back heel, we're never winning at Brighton either.
Yeah. And I feel like for where we aim on going, and I feel like I don't feel like we deserved to finish second this season. Like, it would have been amazing, like a hell of an achievement. Yeah. Like, have we been good enough consistently throughout the season to finish second? I don't think so, but obviously it would have been amazing to see we do that. But that's ultimately where we want to be. We want to be competing at the top, not just be however many points behind Liverpool we are. Like, we want to be like closer to the top and actually like deserve to finish in these like second and third positions. Whereas this season it's been a little bit questionable. But to get that, we need teams to fear us, and we need to have that respect. I don't really feel like we have a lot of respect from many teams. And like we need to earn that respect by putting the fear into these teams. Like, we'll go to the Etihad and cower. We'll go to Anfield, the Emirates, where we haven't won in 15 years. Stamford Bridge. Chelsea aren't that good. Why have we not won at Stamford Bridge? Like over the years, like Chelsea's been really up and down. Like, they've had some really, really shit years, and we still can't beat them. So things like that need to change, and especially Bournemouths and Brightons. That's a fucking piss take.
I mentioned Diarmi at Brighton. It's only if it's Papi Cissé at Chelsea. You didn't win unless it's a win goal at these places. An absolute freaking nature goal. But I hope that changes next season. I think it can.
If we want to compete, that's where we need to be. We can't just be losing to these teams every season away. What's that? Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea,
5 or 6 teams.
5-6 teams. Like, you're just going to lose to them, or at least points. Like, we can draw it, like Brighton, Bournemouth. We get decent results at the Emirates, maybe, but we're not winning. Like, we need to turn that around.
We do need to turn it around. Like, that's why I'm just good that one of those chances in the first half didn't go in. I do think we're going to win that probably 2-3-0. Yeah. To be honest with you, but it gave Arsenal a boost, and he said Arsenal were there for the take, and they were poor. They've been poor for weeks. Bournemouth beat them at home not long ago. They've obviously been focusing on Champions League. They haven't been at it.
No,
they haven't been at it, and it was only because a mistake from Gordon, and then a brilliant finish from Rice. Credit to him.
That was a good finish, yeah.
Very good finish. Pope had no chance, but just a bit slow there, weren't we? And a bit lackadaisy, and Gordon's on giving it away, and Gordon's definitely been the scapegoat of the week.
He has, yeah. Do you feel like it's deserved?
Well, he hasn't had a good performance in a while, has he?
He hasn't.
I don't think there's no need to pick him out like that. Like, to be fair, the only thing that I'm bothered about is the point that some people have in terms of his attitude, like giving the ball away there but not chasing back. What we loved about him last year was his work ethic, wasn't it? He's applying it a bit down.
He is a little bit like disheartened because he hasn't really been getting at the team since his red card. Obviously, missed the final. And Barnes came in, and Barnes has been keeping him out since then. Like, that was 2 months ago, and that's like the cup final. Like, he hasn't been able to get his place back since then. He missed 3 games. I think an extra one because he had an injury, because he got injured at England, didn't he? So he missed like 4 games or something from there, and it's been nearly 2 months since then. He can't get his place back because Barnes has been class. But that's what I'm not really sure about over these formations and lineups over the last 2 weeks. Like, I don't feel like Barnes and Gordon can play together.
No.
And it's okay, I suppose, if one of them tries to adapt to the right-hand side, although they've both played there previously and not really been that good. But Murphy's on the pitch now, so we're playing with 3 wingers. How does that work? Like, I just don't like it. Like, they're both best on the left wing, so unless they're playing left wing, they shouldn't really be anywhere. I didn't want to see them centre mid. I don't want to see them false 9. Neither one of them is fantastic on the right. So why the fuck are they both on the field together? And that is a bit of a problem, because they both probably deserve to be there. Like, Barnes certainly deserves to be there, and Gordon is one of our best players in principle. He's just struggled a little bit over the last couple of months, but doesn't mean to say that he shouldn't necessarily be there. But it's like, how do you get them both in? And that's why I feel like just the team with sort of like the back 5, although like Howe's been rotating it loads recently, like with Barnes being like, Gordon's kind of being lined up in like centre mid, but would drift, then we'd go from a 5 to a 4 at the back, and it's just a bit too much. I feel like it hasn't really clicked. Like, I haven't really felt like I don't know, like who's been really playing like left back? Like it's been Burn, but
Yeah, Tino's been left back for a while, hasn't he, since Hall went out.
yeah, but like with Trippier being out the last couple of games,
Yeah.
it's just been a bit.
Mayfield's been wing back, hasn't he? So we've been 5 at the back.
I haven't really liked this. I don't
I don't like it.
I don't feel this. I don't even know what's going on. Like, but we keep like changing it.
Don't know what's going on.
I thought the game against Chelsea was quite good, because like the tactical masterclass and the kind of mind games with Maresca worked, and obviously we got the win, so it panned out. But like I say, Chelsea aren't really that great of a team. Like we played Arsenal, who probably deserved to be second this season, and we got found out. Like whatever worked at Chelsea didn't quite work at the Emirates.
You're not really getting the best out of Murphy either. You mentioned balance
yeah,
but with him being that far back, he does a job there.
Yeah,
but you're losing out on the bloke that's got second assist to
He's got 20 goal contributions this season.
Yeah, so you want him in that area. You want him just smashing it like he's going for a shot/cross again, and it's ripping the back of the net. I think we're sometimes criticise how in the way selections are for not changing things up. Sometimes we get found out because we pick the same team every week, and you think, oh, he's not going to change up because he's not got a plan B. Is he not going to give this player a chance? And then to be fair, when he has mixed it up because of injuries, it doesn't quite work. We miss having that balance and that structure. I think that's what makes one of the best teams in the league, is having the structure and the balance, is having a well-refined midfield, a solid defence, and the wing-backs know the jobs, and then the wingers getting the balls into Isak and, splitting the lines. But when you look at Trippier being out, Joe Linton being out, and obviously Isak against Arsenal, the lack of options from the depth is so concerning, man. And obviously that's why we're praying for a big, busy summer ahead. But when those aren't there, the drop-off is just... can be huge. Second half when the stock getting tired, I thought it was huge.
Yeah. Like, I'm the founding member of the KDL, the Craft Defence League. Have been since day one. But, like, as much as I like Crafts, like, he comes in, does a great job when people's out and what have you. He's a hard worker, and I think he goes unnoticed. But it's only about an hour in, I feel like it was. Like, so still around about 30 minutes left or whatever to go. And we're bringing Kraft on, and we're bringing like Osula and Miley on. Like, what's that going to do?
Against Arsenal as well.
Yeah, we're away at the Emirates. We're already 1-0 down. I'm not being funny, but them subs were like, is that the best we can do? Is that what's going to turn this game around and get us a win here? Nah. Like that's what I mean. Like the depth in the squad, like a couple of injuries. It's not like we've got loads. It's not like it was like 2 years ago when we were in the Champions League, like where we were missing nearly everyone.
Yeah, 13 players or something.
We had the same starting 11 play like 9 games in a row. 17-year-old Miley hasn't played a minute of football in his life. Oh yeah, mate, there's a start for the next 9 weeks. Like with 3 goalkeepers and fucking 4 16-year-olds on the bench.
We're showing glimpses of that again, by the way. We've had 2 keepers on the bench the last couple of games. We've had young Sean Heave on the bench.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not that bad. Like when we've only got like a few
2-3 players out.
Yeah, and then we'll look at the squad and say, really? Is this the best that we've got? Like, is this what we're gonna do? Like, that's what I mean. Like, we need to like adapt to be able to beat teams like Arsenal away. Yeah, we've got a couple of injuries, but shouldn't really be an excuse. Like, that shouldn't really be like Kraft's coming on to like change the game like an hour in. Like, nah, it's not good enough, man. And you look at the others like Longstaff on the bench, and Willock hasn't performed well recently. It's like this bench is shit. Like, we've just got no ideas. Like, Wilson hasn't really been performing. We haven't really got an idea without Isak up top. Like, there's just no plan. Like, we're just so shallow still. What was it, like 4 years into the takeover? 2 years on from that Champions League season where we showed how shallow we are. And I know PSR and FFP and stuff's prevented us from buying in the last like 2 years, basically the last like 3 or 4 windows. We haven't brought a senior player in. So yeah, we've prevented that, but still, like, we need a big summer. We need not a massive overhaul. I don't want to get too over dramatic, but a bit of an overhaul. Like, we need a lot of work done to boost this squad. Like, we're gonna play Champions League football next season. Or at least some form of European football at the very, very least. Like,
2 games a week, no matter what.
We're going to be in Europe next season, whichever competition it is. Hopefully, and most likely Champions League. I can't say we're dropping out of the top 5. But yeah, we need that strength and depth. We need the depth massively, but also not just like, oh, well, we'll have like 3 Crafts. We need quality. We need strength and depth. We need big numbers, quality numbers.
Because when there's no Isak, There's no goals at the
No,
Emirates. Do
not at all.
you think if he was playing on Sunday, just gone there, that if he got a chance, even when he's not fully fit, which he hasn't looked like for a while,
Yeah.
that he would have made a difference?
I think he would. I think Wilson did an okay job at holding the ball up, but that's not really going to score goals, is it? Like, it's not your best plan. Like, I think, like, down the middle, we didn't really have a lot of success. Like, we had that one where Wilson laid it off to Bruno, and that was arguably our best chance of the game. But from a striker's point of view, we didn't really have anything going. Like, so I think, like, if Isak was there, especially in them opening 20 minutes where we did have chances, like, I think Isak putting himself about, showing the pace that he's got, the quality that he's got, like, he's a bit of a danger in the box. Yeah, I feel like we could have gotten that early goal that we needed. Like, if we had one or two more chances, a couple of them fell to Isak, I think we could have gotten that important early goal and seen the game out from there. So, yeah, we just needed his quality, even if he's only 70, 80%. Still feel like he could have done a little bit more than what Wilson did, just holding the ball up and waiting for, like, your Brunos and stuff to come join him.
Do you reckon he'll be back this weekend? We don't know yet. We'll see how his press conference on Friday. Take out the pinch of salt either, I think, to be fair. Like, but hopefully he'll be in the squad at least.
It'd be nice.
On the bench, you know, if he is needed, bring him on. Because, well, listen, Wilson's probably going to be playing his last game for Newcastle on Sunday, isn't he? All the rumours this week is that it's very unlikely he will be staying at the two, and he's linked with Leeds United in the last few days. It's a nice free transfer for them. That probably makes sense. But if he can come good, you know, score a farewell goal for Newcastle, get the Champions League as our number 9, I think that'll be a nice fitting story.
It would
be a good headline for that one. But yeah, we're gonna hope that Isak, if he can't start, at least he can come off the bench, see if it's 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. Imagine the lift that would give the crowd, and a bit of fear would strike in Everton.
Yeah, it would, because obviously Isak is our danger man, and this is a big game because, like, we're sat
in massive game.
Because we're sat in 4th now.
Showdown Sunday.
Right? Well, like, we're sat in 4th now. Top 5 gets you Champions League, but it's so tight, man. Like, the points down there are ridiculous. So, and Chelsea and Forest play each other.
Yeah.
So there's maybe 3 points in there for at least one of them. But yeah, like, we need to win this game like it's a cup final. I felt Sunday was a cup final and we lost. But at least now we get at least like a 3rd place playoff. So this is my 3rd place playoff, but it actually matters. Nobody gives a shit about a 3rd place playoff, but this one matters.
This one does. This is literally a 3rd place playoff.
It's a massive 3rd place playoff.
It's a 3rd place. Not just the World Cup special.
Yeah,
not the bronze medals.
Not the game that anyone gives a shit in the World Cup. In fact, I don't even do that anymore. I'm sure I haven't even done that for the last couple of tournaments because literally no one gave a shit.
Pointless. Totally pointless.
Yeah, this is a massive game. It's not just like the end of the season where a lot of the time it's by this point. That's not a lot to play for. Saying, fuck it, we'll have a couple of youngins in, get them a little bit of experience or whatever. Essentially like a post-season friendly. But this is massive, man. Like, we need our best players to come out fighting and being 100%. So if Isak's back, amazing. That's great. At least in the squad. Hopefully he can bring like 20 minutes off the bench. That'd be nice. But yeah, I think people need to give Callum Wilson a standing ovation if this is going to be the end. Like, I know, like, he's rubbed people up the wrong way a little bit over the past couple of years, and it's not necessarily anything that he's done. Injuries are just a part of football, and unfortunately, he's been a little bit injury prone. Statistically, he's one of Newcastle's greatest strikers in the Premier League. He's got so many goals. His goal-to-game ratio is up there with some of the best that we've ever had.
It is.
He's a number 9. He's scored loads of goals in the dark days under Brucey. He was a shining light.
Dark days.
Even season before last, like, he had a bit of a late flurry, came back from injuries. He was coming off the bench in every game and scoring goals. For like 18 goals, didn't he? Had 18 goals season before last. I'm sure he got loads of goals the year before last.
Yeah.
I'm sure he scored like 9 or 10 in like the last like few games of the season.
Wow.
He's on a mad flurry. I'm sure he's got loads of goals towards the back end of the season. And I was like, where's this come from? So I'm thinking a few of them were penalties now, maybe. But yeah, like, he's been a good player forward. He's been a good representative. And he's been here for 5 years. When did he sign? Was it 20?
Probably 2020.
Yeah, I think it was 2020. So
2020.
he's been a good servant. So if this is his last, I want to see a standing ovation. I want to see everyone like applaud him.
Definitely.
Thank him well for his time. Don't be bitter and be like, if he didn't score a goal, everyone, yeah, shit, go on, fuck off the Leeds.
Didn't do a Trent.
He doesn't need that. Like, he's one of our own. He always got to back the boys in black and white. So yeah, hopefully it'd be nice to see him get a goal. If he plays from the start off the bench, whatever it is, I'd love to see him get like a farewell goal. But
Sure, he's
we
got
do
a good
need
record
that.
against Everton as well.
Like teams like Everton and West Ham, that's his like bread and butter.
It is, isn't it? Remember against Pickford in the
Yeah.
old yellow shirt away at Goodison, COVID times, and he was rubbing it into him. We'll have more of that, please, on Sunday. But on Wilson and Keg, do you think it's so? We've talked about this before, but we have to give it a brief mention again because he is in the headlines. He is rumoured to be going to Leeds. It looks like he's not going to get a new deal at Newcastle. Just to summarise on that one, is that the right choice? Even what you've seen lately, when I know you've said in the past if he's happy to be third choice, do you still stick by that, or what you've seen against Arsenal in recent weeks? Is it time just to cut ties?
Yeah, I do, because he's been another one that I've defended over the past couple of years when he's been injury prone and coming towards end of contracts. People have been wanting him to get rid because he's too injury prone. But for me, that's not a massive issue. Like the point is when he's on the field, he's quality enough and he can score goals. He knows where the net is. But this season he hasn't. I don't even know if he's got a league goal. He's got one league goal, maybe. No, he hasn't. I think he's scored one against Forest and Birmingham in the cup. That was his only goal.
He hasn't scored a Premier League goal in nearly a year.
And he's had minutes.
Yeah,
not
3
not
starts and then loads them off.
Yeah, so he's had a fair few minutes over the past few months, second half of the season since coming back, because he missed pretty much the full first half of the season. So he's had plenty of minutes, but no goals. And yeah, like in these last 2 weeks especially, like he's had opportunities and like he just hasn't really been doing it. So as much as I've defended him, and now that he is coming out of contract, it is a bit pointless renewing it. Like maybe it's when you can go to the free agency market and get like a Jonathan David.
That'd be lovely. We'll have that, please.
Or like I think we need at least 1 or 2 more strikers, because I think it seems like Asula isn't a liked number 9. He's maybe a bit better off the wing. So yeah, we're probably gonna need to get at least 2 strikers in. Even if we say go Delap, who have been linked with a couple more, but for argument's sake, we'll trigger Liam Delap's release clause and we'll get Jonathan David in on a free.
Well, imagine title contenders
in a Champions League season where we're defending our Carabao Cup title and we want to finish in the top 2 or 3 in the Premier League. That's what you need, man.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know about wages. I don't know if that's realistic. Probably not. But in an argumentative circumstance, that would be mint. Or you could keep Callum Wilson, who's probably going to play fucking 4 games a season and get 8 goals, and get one of them instead. Like, I'd rather go down that slightly more expensive route and have these younger Premier League proven in Liam Delap and young, still quite young. He's not young, but like potential and European quality in Jonathan David. Like, that'd be mint.
Be mint. I think. Yeah, that would be mint. But I think I can't see Delap and David being happy. Battling between like second and third choice.
Yeah, neither one of them would probably want to come be number 2. Number 3.
No, they wouldn't really. More so, David would probably be more realistic, just because Delap's got England aspirations. He's got Man United and Chelsea after him. Yeah. I think he'll get into one of them 2 teams, to be honest, probably, as I said in yesterday's video. But we are in the race for him. So why would he choose Newcastle? Do you think? What can we offer him that Man U and Chelsea can't? I guess it's a better trajectory at the minute, isn't it?
Trajectory, yeah. Probably the same thing that we're told Gordon, Barnes, Tonali, Bruno, all them, Trippier when he first came. Like, this is a project, and now we're starting to see the light. We've won a cup recently, something that we've never, ever, ever been able to tell anyone in the past 70 years. Like, we've actually won a cup. We're defending a title right now. We're going to get Champions League. And Man United will, if they win the Europa League.
Yeah, big game tonight.
What are the fucking 16th in the league right now?
Aye.
Who would you rather go to? Like, Man United's got the history, of course they have. They're a big, one of the still biggest clubs, brands, franchises, sports teams in world football, in world sport. But that shit, not being funny, but like they haven't been good over the past like 10 years.
No, literally.
Like, we're on that upward trajectory now. Like, just what day is it now? Wednesday. 4 days ago, we were thinking we could finish second.
And they could finish 17th.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, he's probably going to get more time at Man United. I see Man United being a pretty good fit for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they are a big team. They'll probably offer him more wages than what we would.
Definitely will offer him at least double.
That's probably one thing that they've got going for them. Like, we're not going to get the piss taken out of them. We don't need him. I feel like Man United need him. He's going to be there. He'll probably be their number 1. He's better than Højlund and Xerxes and anyone else that they've got too. I don't even know. Whereas here, he's not going to be better than Isak. So Man United is probably a better fit for him. But if you're trying to sell something, we're the team. Who else is in for him? Chelsea. Similar.
Spurs, but Chelsea and Man U, Newcastle are the ones leading the race. Yesterday.
Chelsea, I wouldn't go to because they're a shit show.
Yeah.
Like, they just sign everyone with absolutely no idea what they're doing. They sign so many players, you forget they even played for them. So, like
Mudryk last week.
I didn't even have Mudryk was on loan. Is he on? No, he's suspended. I still don't know where he is. We spoke about it a week ago. I still don't know where he is. He's back in Ukraine, looking defending Russia.
Good luck to him.
I don't know. So Chelsea would be an okay move for him, but I just feel like the way Chelsea's been since Bowley took over, they're just an absolute mess.
Yeah,
Man United's a mess just because they're a mess.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the trajectory and the actual aim and desire that Newcastle have, we are the best offer. But Chelsea, like Man United, are probably going to offer way more wages. That's why Tosin Adarabioyo signed for them last time.
I had that work over him as well.
Aye, really well. Good job, mate.
Played 6 minutes in the Blue Commons League.
Yeah, well done.
That's it. So, yeah, all those points are right, and I think that would be wise to choose Newcastle. I think, look what Eddie Howe could do to him.
Development.
He could learn off Isak. He would still get a lot of minutes here with us playing 2 games a week European football. Cups, with Isak's injury-prone record, or in terms of he comes off a lot in games, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That, he'd be playing at least half an hour every week.
He's going to get minutes. Like I say, a cup. Especially lower league ones.
The FA Cup striker, if you want, Carabao striker.
Carabao Cup,
play a lot in Europe.
We're playing away to bloody Cluj or something like that.
Well, hopefully Champions League away to Barca.
But with the Champions League, especially with that group stage, you'd be playing anyone. Like there's some raj teams still getting qualification to the Champions League, so you can still be playing away to Baku or something in the Champions League.
Yeah,
that's some mad teams like Ferencvaros or somewhere like that, some mad Swiss team or something. So there's minutes there to be had, in all competitions. Like I say, league, Isak's a little bit injury prone, gets a bit fatigued, needs to come off. So 20-30 minutes in the league every week, if not replacing him, starting most weeks when he's injured. Well, every week when he's injured. There's minutes there to be had in Europe, minutes there to be had in the cup, plenty starts in the cup, domestic cups. You're not going to be number one when we need a number one, but you're going to get a lot of game time, and you're going to be with probably the best. I don't want to say the best manager in the Premier League, but certainly for development purposes, for younger players,
he's up there,
Eddie Howe is definitely probably the best manager in the Premier League in that particular aspect.
Has improving you, and he's made it clear to that he wants to get in the England setup now. He's played at the youth levels,
so he should. Yeah.
So look around, mate. Dan Burns just got an England call from Newcastle.
Literally
from Newcastle, 30-odd-year-old, and Murphy's might get in there next month. Fingers crossed for him. He definitely deserves it. Obviously, Hall, Tino, they've all been in the mix. Gordon, so you could easily come here and do that, and he might even get the number 9 shirt. Maybe too soon, but it'll be up for grabs with Wilson. Leaves another English number 9 there taking over.
Yeah,
and he could cement himself here, and then if Isak does leave, which it's going to happen one day apparently, which I probably will. Let's be honest. So say Barca came in next year for Isak, big money or whoever it was. Then you got Delap as your main man. Then he's had a year to learn, a year to improve. That would work out nicely.
And he's a bit of a different style as well. He's big,
old school.
He's big, physical, old school number 9, like in Alan Shearer, but probably maybe he's a little bit taller. I feel like he's broad, he's a tough kid.
Yeah.
I feel like Isak, Asula, and Jonathan David are all quite similar.
Very similar.
They're all tall, long, gangly, quick, good on the ball. But Delap offers something a little bit different. So I think it's nice to kind of have a bit of difference. If you've got 2 strikers that are like for like in the same team, you're not really say we're playing someone really physical, and Isak's maybe he's getting bullied a little bit. He's not being able to do what he wants to do. Delap's on the bench. Get him on. Get a bully on the field. Get the elbows in.
You'll need that in the Champions League now.
Proper physicality. So he offers something different to what like Asula or Jonathan David could do.
No, I like the signing that Delap, I really do, but I do feel that he'll go for wages. His agents apparently saying he wants 140, 150 grand a week. That's the top end of what the Newcastle players are.
It is, yeah.
So is he going to walk through the door and get that? But at 30 million quid for a 22-year-old Englishman who scored 12 goals for a relegated side, it's still a bargain.
You'd be getting at least 100.
Aye.
So
my target's getting 100, and he's just chilling.
And what's he called? That was here for about 5 minutes on 150. Lloyd Kelly.
Lloyd Kelly, aye.
So I think wherever he goes, he's gonna get at least 100, and I'd be happy with that. I think if you got up to 120, pushing it, Yeah, I can see that. Like you say, he's young English. He's a prospect, so you could pay that. Maybe he's paying a little bit over the odds, but if he wants any more than 120, if he wants 150, then see where your options are elsewhere, mate. If Man United or Chelsea's going to pay, well, they definitely would.
Oh, definitely.
If they're going to pay that, then and you prefer to go there with a manager that's going to get sacked in next month,
right?
Crack on.
I think the more realistic option for Newcastle is a David on a free, something like that. You could get obviously a big money signing, I hope, from that right wing, like crying out for Mbuma, who can obviously play as a striker as well. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to see someone who plays at Everton this weekend playing for Newcastle next season.
Thomas Grabson.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Oh.
I can see that happening a mile off. He's a free.
I'll have Thomas Grabson.
Lee Carsley. I can see that happening to me, Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I think he's going to be a free agent, isn't he? And I guess
it's what, fourth choice, maybe?
He'll probably replace the Wilson rule, won't he? It's literally canny like for like, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, again, as I said, if we lose Wilson, we need to sign 2. So if he's 1 and he's going to come in and be what, third choice, and we get, say, David or Delap, alright, not going to be mad at it. But I don't want to see him play too many minutes.
I know. Imagine if it's just heading into the Champions League season with Isak and Calvert-Lewin.
That's no good.
Nah, it's not. But if you did get, Mbuma for big money, then Calvert-Lewin on a free, then
Mbuma could play.
Then you got Stulat still.
Yeah, I suppose.
I didn't mind that much.
There's options in versatility.
Exactly.
So,
there's a good plan B off the bench, Calvert-Lewin, but you can't be relying on him. Need chance.
Nah, definitely not.
Because obviously, we nearly signed him last summer. To be fair, didn't we? Were putting in big money for him for the old FFP swapsies with Mint now and all that.
That's mad.
Well, to be fair, we should have just went for it because we signed fucking Vaca Thomas for 25 million. He hasn't played a minute.
True, I suppose Calvert-Lewin would be more worth the file.
30 million Calvert-Lewin, he actually might have got a couple of goals.
I'd rather have a third choice striker than a 7th choice goalkeeper.
Exactly that. But people lose me head with saying Calvert-Lewin, such a bad choice. There's someone else.
It's not a terrible choice, but it's just not good.
Yeah, it's not.
That's how I would describe it. It's not the worst, but
it's far from the best. It's far from what we want. It's far from what we need.
Yeah, definitely.
But as a third or fourth choice, it's not the worst. Mateta has 1 year left in his deal. Class.
Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of Mateta.
It's mad how underrated Mateta still is.
He really is, isn't he?
He's banging the goals for years now, and everyone just keeps sleeping on him because he's big, bald, and looks 45. But I think he's only 26, 27 or something.
I was just going to say, how old is he?
I'm sure
he
is.
From Celtic?
Brilliant, man.
Was he at Celtic? Or
no, I think he came from France. The French team.
I might be thinking of...
he's wearing his helmet. He's got 14 goals, 2 assists this season.
I am thinking of...
27 years old.
What happened to Edward? That's who I'm
He went
of.
back. He was from Celtic. He went there. I the signing from Mainz in Germany. And he was at Le Havre and Lyon before that. But I really like Mateta. I'd love Mateta. I mean,
he's 27.
27.
He'll be 28 in June, to be fair.
28 in June, eh?
So yeah, he's
like
not a spring chicken, but it's a decent age.
I'd love Mateta. I mean, big unit. Look at the hole that we did in the FA Cup last week. That's the kind of difference he offers, and he's a goal threat now. He's a big man. He's gives you a different philosophy. So I'd love a bit of Mateta. I mean,
he's one of them physical guys. He's a bit of a fox in the box. He gets loads from like the 6-yard area, doesn't he? Like he's just always in the right place at the right time. Just bash, one of them.
Just can't be asked to deal with Crystal Palace again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The fucking saga last year with Gahey and Parish and that.
True. Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, I'd have a bit of Gahey and Mateta this year. If Palace just don't want to waste my time for 4 months, that'd be great. Waste all summer trying to get him, then that would be quality. Tell you what, Keg, we may as well go on to the Everton game. To be fair, the big one this weekend. It's the title in the podcast. Showdown Sunday. We went from survival Sundays, battling relegation. Remember?
Yeah, long gone are them days.
Big up Gutierrez for that goal against West Ham. John Carver keeping us up in the league. Mike Ashley interview afterwards and all that crap. Sports Direct Soccer Dome. Thankfully, we're not there anymore. We're at St James's. We're going for Champions League. The question is, Keg, will Newcastle get it? Because we're going to look at other fixtures this weekend and, the little permutations that are going to take place on the final day of the season, but it's all in our hands still. It's all in our hands, and that's still a good place to be. At least you're not looking over your shoulder and relying on this result, thinking, "Oh, we need a favour off them." Do your own job, unless then you have to go look for favours.
Do your job.
What you want to do. Do your job.
Yeah, I'm feeling the nerves because obviously there's a lot riding on it. Like, it is such a massive game, and anytime you play like a cup final, you're not going to go in there not feeling a little bit shaky. Even if you're the favourites, there's always going to be a thing in the back of your mind. What if? So yeah, that's why I feel a little bit nervous. But in terms of Everton, we should technically be smashing them. That they've done better this season than I expected. To be fair, like,
Moisey's doing bits
over the past couple of years, like, they've been one of my favourites to get relegated, and they've survived by the skin of their teeth.
The skin.
That's why I thought it was like kind of inevitable that they were going to go down sooner or later. Kind of like Sunderland, like when they were like on the cusp, like for like 3 years.
Got away with it.
And then obviously you're going to fall below that line sooner or later if you're not going to drastically improve, which I don't think Everton have massively, to be honest. I don't really feel like that squad's much better now than it was a couple of years ago. But they have broke away, and they're sort of top end of the bottom half there. So they're well clear of survival ahead of Man United and Tottenham. So fair play to them for that. So yeah, we should be beating them. They're an okay team, but we should be pissing on them. But I always feel a little bit of nerves about Everton because it's Everton, because we've kind of developed this little rivalry between with Jordan Pickford and things like that. Like, it always feels like a game that if we lose, we're gonna get the Mackhams on my back. We're gonna get the Scouse Mackhams on my back.
All the Mackhams.
Kind of be arsed with that shit. So yeah, it always is a bit nervy, and when you get the win, it's like a bit of a relief. It's like, get in, we beat them. So yeah, that's why I'm feeling extra nervous, because it means a lot with league position, qualifying for the Champions League. The fact it's technically the Scouse Mackhams, but it shouldn't be that much overthought. It's a game where we're the better team. We're at home. There's no excuses to lose this game.
Scouse Mackhams just always makes me giggle.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's always nice to chat on. But you're right. We're at home. 4 o'clock on a Sunday.
Excuse.
Bank holiday on the Monday. We need the same atmosphere and vibe that we had against Chelsea a fortnight ago in this game. Obviously, a nice early goal would help, just like Sandro did it against Chelsea. But we can make this happen on Sunday from the crowd. You know what I mean? Are the club giving away free beers again? They need to do that again. That's it. They probably don't have to, since it's a 4 o'clock kickoff. Everyone will be out all day anyways. Okay, so it's Fleet Street. Pretty much talk of Fleet Street. We'll be there. And it's going to be a big atmosphere for a big game. We're going to talk about Pickford Keg in a minute and what Newcastle should do, and we'll have a bit of Anthony Gordon as well. But let's just look at other fixtures first, right? So we're both saying Newcastle are going to win this one. Yeah,
Should be.
I think it'll be 2 or 3-0 Newcastle. I think that's in our hands. That means we'll finish third.
Yeah, I'll go 3-1.
3-1. Calvert-Lewin. So what we're looking at here, and I've seen someone ask earlier in the chat as well, is the Newcastle game on TV? It's not on Sky Sports, but TNT Sports have not announced which game they're showing on the final day yet. Obviously, everybody kicks off at 4. Understandably, the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game is going to be on Sky, as you'd expect, because that's the big one there for the top 5 place as well. But then they chose Liverpool Palace as well, the most pointless game of that weekend. The game that's
on Sky.
Both of them, they announced it a couple hours ago.
Liverpool at home.
Yeah,
because they lift the cup.
Yeah, boring.
That's why.
We've seen all the celebrations already. You
basically skipped the 90 minutes and just show with them.
You don't just have a red button option like back in the day or something.
I was going to say, there's a Sky Sports Plus now, isn't there, where you get that option.
For the Liverpool fans that want to watch it, just press a button and watch the true.
Do that for like Football League.
Yeah.
Like, often when there's like loads of like
the Championship final day was really good. Championship final day they did it. I watched it. Coventry Borough and then flicked between the other ones.
Last day of the Premier League season. No, I sound new. In the middle of the season, I can watch a mad random League One game if I want to by going on Sky Sports Plus 1. But last game of the Premier League season, I didn't worry about that.
When Champions League's up for grabs, and that's dead exciting. We'll just show Liverpool, who couldn't give a shit. The players have been on holiday. Slots been in a beef, getting wrecked. They got beat the other night off Brighton. Palace have just won the first trophy ever. None of these teams even want to play this game. No one gives a crap about it. But you didn't advertise Man U, Villa, or Newcastle Everton. So basically, it's going to be down to TNT because they'll be surely showing either Man U, Villa or Newcastle Everton. It'll probably be Man U, Villa, won't it? Because it's
it's a pretty big game. Yeah,
it's the two big teams on paper. Obviously, Newcastle Everton. It's just one big team, that being Newcastle, of course. So yeah, when Man U, we say big, but they could be European champions. The 16th, no one cares. But Villa are obviously gunning for our spot in Champions League football as well. So it'll be one of those games. So we've said Newcastle are going to win, Keg. That moves us on to then what's going to happen in the Forest and Chelsea match. Remember, if Newcastle win, like we've said, doesn't matter. Job done. But obviously, otherwise, we need a better Chelsea or Villa's result, depending on what's going to happen where. Forest Chelsea, I'd love to see Forest do it, man. I just
Me too.
really think they deserve it. They've been sitting high up there throughout the campaign. They've obviously dropped off in recent weeks, which is a big shame. But I want them to do it, obviously, way more than Chelsea, but just as the underdog. And just because, they deserve to see it out.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard.
Yeah, same for me. I feel like Forest really have deserved it, and it is nice to see an underdog, someone different. I always like seeing someone different, like Palace winning the FA Cup. I was absolutely buzzing for them. And not because I give a shit about Palace, I really, really don't. But just the fact that it's someone different and someone that's, unlike us, had a 70-year drought. They've never, ever won a major trophy.
That's mad,
So
isn't it?
I'm absolutely buzzing for Palace that they've got that. I've seen a couple of more actually recently, like in other leagues. Bologna won one. I think they were on, I guess,
51, yeah.
51. Someone
Go ahead, Eagles.
91 years in the Dutch league.
91.
Yeah,
Spurs, 17 years tonight, maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully.
So yeah, it's been a great season. So for a team like Forest, who are a massive underdog, probably someone that I probably would have tipped for battling relegation this year.
Definitely.
Like
Everyone did,
I
eh?
wouldn't have expected them to go down, but around about that 16th, 17th bracket where Man United and Spurs are, that's where I thought they would have been, to be honest. So it's amazing, but they have fallen off recently, haven't they? Like they haven't been able to end the season as well as they've kind of maintained it throughout. So
I mean, drawn at home at Leicester.
yeah,
They got a big win away at West Ham, but again, West Ham have been poor this year.
yeah.
But dropping points at home at Leicester and stuff like that. Onak going on the pitch and arguing with Nuno and stuff. It's went a bit sour there, hasn't it, really? But they're at home, and the atmosphere at the City Ground can be top as well. So, yeah, and it's against Chelsea, who, you've been saying aren't that good, and, they are inconsistent in that, and they've got the Conference League final coming up the week after.
Yeah.
So, Forest, Chelsea.
I'm saying Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe a draw. How
thinking
does
a draw.
how does that fare?
I'm thinking a draw, me.
Would a draw not be good for us? Would we not rather than both split a point if we get 3?
Let's double check that.
It's better than one of them getting 3, surely.
It probably is. Well, it definitely will be, because since it's that close. Because obviously we need to mention, of course, Man City as well. But we know Man City are going to get it.
Yeah.
They beat Bournemouth last night, didn't they? 3-1 in De Bruyne's send off. So now Man City overtook Newcastle into third place on 68 points. Newcastle are on 66. Chelsea are on 66. Villa in 6th are on 66. Forest in 7th are on 65. So, well, if Chelsea got a point and we lost, then they would obviously finish above us. But surely we're not going to lose. I don't Everton. Please, no.
Yeah,
Forest
so we just
would
need to better that result.
yeah,
at least
we just need to better both results, really. Or well, one of them. You know for a fact, man, you want to do it now against Villa as well. Regardless if they win tonight or lose.
Yeah.
They're not doing that. Villa will go there and win. Everyone's went there and win. Potter's West Ham went there and won the other week. We've obviously won there close at Christmas time.
Need them to do a favour. Come on, Man United.
Need chance. Honestly, Villa will win that. So they'll go up to 69 points. So Newcastle have to better Villa's result, and obviously Chelsea and Forest as well. Because obviously Villa would have to win. Our goal difference is really good. Look, we're on 22.
Yeah, that's where we're
Villa are on 9. So our goal difference being superior there is helping us out a lot. And it could even do that in the final day, I think.
Yeah.
I think
there's a couple of teams they're going to get a win.
I think Villa are going to win, so they'll be on 69. I think Newcastle are going to win, so we'll be on 69, and our goal difference would see us higher. And obviously Chelsea Forest. So, yeah, you're right. We would rather have a Forest win or a draw. We don't want Chelsea to win, basically, as well. So, I think it will be a draw. I think it'll be 2-2 Forest Chelsea. And I think Villa will win like 3-1.
So, say Forest win, just going to try and do a bit of maths here. So,
68.
So Forest and Villa win. Would that mean Chelsea dropped down to 7th? So Villa would get 5th and get Champions League.
Yeah.
Forest would finish 6th and get
Europa. Chelsea would get 7th.
Not mad at that. Not mad.
I would love that. Chelsea to miss out on Champions League. Need big money signings for them. Well, shouldn't be. They probably still will. But that would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
We just need to do our job and finish 4th. Like, fuck the other results. I'm not even asked. We just need to beat Everton, and that's all we need to do. Like, well, if we beat Everton, then we'll finish 4th, get Champions League, and that's all we really need, to be honest.
Big up to Adam. Thanks very much for the super chat, mate. No question, just a thanks for all the content. Thanks very much, pal. Appreciate it. Cheers for watching. Thanks to the 261 people that are watching live. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop any questions in the comments below. How you are feeling heading into the final day, predictions for it, all of that lovely stuff. And we'll talk about that Europa League final tonight in just a minute as well, as we'll head off and watch that soon. But just on the Everton stuff, to wrap up on that one, then Keg is obviously the Mackerman net. I did a video on it earlier in the week and put it out there on socials and stuff, and it was about Jordan Pickford, and it was about not making it about him. That's why I'm saying other people have different opinions. Let us know what you think. Would you carry on with the dinosaur costumes behind the goal? They are funny, but or would you get away from that now? And Matt, what I think, in my opinion, is just focus on the lads. Sing our chance. Back us. Don't make it about him. Don't be all about the Pickford chance. Still boo him, of course. Still boo him, and you know, rattle him that way. But don't, because a lot. I think that's where the whole Scouse Magnus thing's developed, hasn't it? And the whole rivalries kicked off is that, you know, mocking of him, and he obviously tries to wind us up. We feel like Goodson Park ourselves in the end. We wind him up, you know, and it's a bit of both. And I think it used to work. Didn't Ancelotti drop him for one of the games against us when he was manager?
He did.
It did work. It got on his head, but now I felt in the last couple of games he's thrived on it. You know, he saved Gordon's penalty in the reverse fixture this season. He did well last year. You know, he's starting to move on from that. I think he does play that bit more against us, but it would kind of take it away from where we're like, when I lost about you the day, Pickford. Yeah,
literally.
We're going to boo you, but we're not going to dress up for you anymore. We've done that now. Move on for me. But hey, other people are saying, nah, still do it, still rip into him. You got any opinions on that, Keg?
I'm torn, to be honest. Like, I see like the pros and cons of it. So like, yeah, like we've done like the dinosaur behind the goal thing. It's fucking hilarious. But like, it doesn't need to be like an annual thing. Like, yeah, it's been done. We'll get the banter. It's always going to be funny. But yeah, like, so I get still ripping him to shreds just to kind of get into his head, because you know he's hot tempered and you know like he makes mistakes. Like he's prone to a mistake, especially against Liverpool and against Newcastle as well, because this is like his derby. So it is good to get into his head and kind of try and force a mistake out of him. But when he does well, you know, he gives it the big end, like saving a penalty and stuff. Like it feels it feels like he saved like a World Cup final penalty. Like when he saved like Anthony Gordon's penalty, I thought this is the fucking greatest day of your life, innit?
It was better than him reaching the bloody finals for England. That one, I enjoyed that more, I think.
Yeah, but like I get just kind of putting it in the past now. Like the rivalry kind of started like back like Everton used to be a good team, like under like the Ancelotti days when they had James Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin was banging them in for fun. Like a really, really good team. And that was back in like the Brucey days when we were shite. Like Everton were way better than we were back then. But times have changed now. Like, yeah, like I think like he started this rivalry because of that. Like, yeah, you're a Mackham. You're playing for a good team. You're also shit. You've beat with fair enough, blah, blah, blah. So when we beat them, it's all banter. It's like it's kind of to and fro. But that's been like 5 years now, and it's like just it's kind of run its course a little bit now, innit? But yeah, I still get like getting into his head, trying to make that mistake because it's there. So I get it on that side, but yeah, just whatever. Like, but it is more of an important game. Like, it's not Sunderland, it's not Jordan Pickford, it's not even Everton. I couldn't give a fuck about Everton. No, like, it's just the game we need to win, whoever the opposition is. I couldn't give a shit. Fulham, Palace, City, Liverpool, whoever. The opposition isn't the important thing. We need to finish as high as we can possibly finish in the league. So it's not the Jordan Pickford derby. I couldn't give a fuck.
I know, that's what I don't want to be anymore.
It's not about that.
Because the Macklins love that. Yeah. They'll be watching if it is on the TV or whatever. They'll be cheering him on, especially obviously if they win the playoff final on Saturday. So they'll be loving it. They'll be like, oh, if we can get back in the Premier League, and Pickford stops Newcastle getting Champions League.
Oh, it's the best weekend of their life.
Best year ever.
Jesus.
Absolute monks.
Imagine that weekend in Sunderland.
Oh, it'd be awful. Oh, ugly scenes, very ugly scenes there. Shout out Tony there in the chat. Leave the T-Rexes in Jurassic Park on Sunday. Lock them up, leave them in the park. I think so. Like I say, I don't mind winding them. I don't mind, you know,
the banter.
But bantering them and booing them and stuff and whatnot. But even he said, I'm sure he said on the podcast himself, Pickford, that he kind of laughs at it now. He doesn't mind it, and that's the point. I think at first it rattled him. But now it's like, it's normal.
Yeah, like he'll be used to it now. Yeah.
I think it's normal now. And I think we just have to play our game and not get into that mindset. And
so I say that was, I don't want to say small club mentality, but like I say, like they were better than us. We were shit under Brucey. They were doing quite well with it. Like Real Madrid's manager.
And Real Madrid's player, Rodriguez.
Actually. But like now, like times have changed. Like we're actually like battling for the Champions League, whereas over the past few years they've been like battling relegation. Like, just forget about it. It's not a big deal anymore.
No, it's not. No, I mean, I would love to see him make a mistake and a blunder.
It's always hilarious, but yeah, we're all just kind of used to it now. But yeah, times have changed. We're in a different place now than we were 5-6 years ago when
God for that,
rivalry started.
Thank God for that.
Any more two Lejeune specials?
Aye, that was a good day.
That
Well,
was tremendous.
good stoppage time.
Aye, it was the best 90 seconds of football I've ever seen, but the first 93 were the worst I've ever seen.
Honestly, we were going to argue. A lot of people walked out around us.
It was the worst 93 minutes of football I've ever seen, but the best 90 seconds.
The best 90 seconds in a football ground ever. Aye. Good fun, well memories there. The old Goodison Park that is no more.
Nah, R.I.P. Goodison.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed that one.
Shame.
On to another player than that, because there is a couple of storylines in this fixture that could be, prominent on Sunday afternoon at full time for me. Like, and one of those we've mentioned Pickford on that side. I think on our side, and you'll see probably Everton podcast talking about him this week. Like we've just talked about Pickford, Anthony Gordon. The ex toffee, the ex little star boy for them, and then he's left. And obviously since then it's came out that he is a Liverpool fan, not an Everton fan and all that, like a lot of people thought he was. And since then, obviously, they booed the hell. I've never heard anything like it when they celebrated that penalty. He missed on the first
like a World Cup final penalty.
It was unbelievable. Just at 0-0. Was it 0-0 or 1-0? 1-0. I think it was 0-0 because I think it finished 0-0. I can't remember, but that cheer for that like pretty meaningless average game in like October, November time, whenever it was, didn't really matter a great deal at that point. It's like, really, that
took balls
that
for Goodison, though.
It did,
It took massive corners.
Devastated, he missed it, obviously, or Pickford saved it, one of the two, but it did take balls, he did step up, didn't quite happen for him, but hopefully he steps up this weekend, because he needs to.
Yeah.
We talked earlier in the show about him not really having a good game for a good couple of months now, so what a chance for him to do it on Sunday against his ex-club, the team that, remember, forced him out.
Yeah.
If the fans are rushing his car down the street and everything, got the move, they slated him, they hated him. And surely he'll have them boos still ringing his to be fair, like from Goodison a few months ago to prove a point against him this weekend.
For me, I wouldn't start him.
That was the question I was going to ask next.
Yeah. And for the sort of, but not in the same way that Ancelotti didn't start Pickford. Like, because it is a big game, it's so important to us. We don't really kind of want them kind of third-party thoughts in your head. Like, you play for Newcastle now. This is an ex-team, a team that you didn't even fucking grow up supporting. Just a team that you used to play for, that didn't like you, they're going to boo you. It's a big occasion for you and your family. But we've got a game to win.
Yeah.
I'm not asked about that.
Yeah.
As to me point before is, I don't like him and Barnes on the same pitch together. And Barnes has outplayed him in the past 2 months. So I'd rather play Barnes and start going from the bench. Bring him on by all means, because he can be creative. And if we need a change, then fair enough, he's there and he's a fantastic option off the bench. But no, I don't see a fit for him and Barnes together, and Barnes is the better player. So it's an easy decision for me, really.
What if Isak is still missing? There's talks that Gordon could play as a 9.
I was discussing this today at work, and like, it is an option. Of course it is. But I don't know. There's other options. Obviously, Wilson, as we mentioned, hasn't really been in good form recently, but a team like Everton is like his like slayers. He's the Scouse Mackham slayer, as well as like the Hammer slayer. So do you keep Wilson in, or do you put Asula in? Because I know he's played mostly from the right, but the last couple of games that he's came on, even against Arsenal, I was quite impressed.
He looked more lively.
I think a lot of people
2 minutes against Arsenal than Wilson did.
I was going to say, I think more people were impressed by Wilson, by Asula in the few minutes that he played against Arsenal than Wilson did the whole game. So if you're going to play a striker, there's the potential for Asula. But regardless, do you play Gordon as the 9, or even maybe as a false 9? Or do you just play Wilson or Asula?
I would play Wilson or Asula, because every time I've seen Gordon, I've
not
hated
great.
it. He's stunk
I know
the place out.
Can play there, but he's not great.
I remember he did it well for England, obviously at the youth level. I've never seen him do it well for Newcastle. He's just never in the box, never the right time.
He plays a 2 though, didn't he? When he won
with Gibbswaite and that.
He won Player of the Tournament at the Euros, didn't he? 21 Euros, but yeah, he played as a one of 2 up top.
It just didn't work when we deployed it last season for me. Honestly, even with Wilson and
I don't think he fits the system.
Question marks over him and stuff. Obviously, what we've been discussing, but with Wilson, I'd rather have Wilson than Gordon there. And then if it's not working, then try it at half time or Asula.
At least you've got them options.
But I've just never seen Gordon as a 9,
sole 9
in the Newcastle shirt. In our system, really. I just don't think you get anything good out of him.
Nah,
really.
same. Yeah,
you're losing that flair from the left and that, which, like you said, though, Bonds deserves it. Yeah. To be fair, Murphy deserves to be there again.
Absolutely, yeah.
But whether he goes 5 at the back again or not, we'll wait and see. There's talks that
I don't like it.
Hopefully,
but it depends on personnel. Yeah, Trippier's back.
Yeah, which I don't think he will be. Kraft could come in. Botman, is he going to be good enough to start again? Joe Linton is the big one. Joe Linton, we're praying Joe Linton's back. Obviously, he was meant to be out for the season.
Yeah,
there's rumours circulating he may come back on Sunday. That would be a surprise, but very much a welcome one.
Definitely.
But I think Joe Linton was more of a bigger miss than us. I think we're going to afford to surely miss him again. It's not like Everton's midfield's like, wow, we need him against this player. And that is you always want Joe Linton there.
Yeah.
But if it means rushing him back and injecting him and perhaps pissing up his pre-season and ruining the start of next season for Everton, maybe have him on the bench. And then if we are struggling, but I think, come on, a Maidi or a Longstaff or Willock, anybody should be able to come in and do a job against Everton. Even though they have looked a lot better since David Moyes has returned there. And in recent weeks, they've had some very good results. I'm hoping they've been on the piss since the Goodison Park farewell, to be honest. I really do, and that'll make things easier. But you mentioned there, Keggy, what you drop, Botman?
Because I just want to go back to a flat back 5. But it also depends on personnel. So maybe Kraft at right back with Tino on the left. And yeah, Botman's been all right since he came back, but I'm still just a bit cautious of him, just a bit worried about him. Like, obviously, we've talked about him being Johnny Woodgate 2.0. So is an option off the bench. Like, yeah, I'd go back to a back 5 with Kraft, Shaw, Byrne, and Tino. I think I'd rather see that than.
Are you playing at right back, did you say?
Kraft. I think I'd rather see that than have Kraft, Shaw, or even Murphy as a wing back, where we've mentioned you're not getting the best out of him because he's further back than he needs to be. Like, second best assist in the league this season, and what you're playing him as essentially a fucking fullback. I don't like that. I just like what we've done over the past few years, where it's predictable but effective. Like the 4-3-3, like we just need to bring that back.
We do, like, I mean, it's a bit embarrassing if you're playing back 5s. We worked against Chelsea and it was respectable against Chelsea with the players missing.
But yeah,
against Everton,
we're at home to Everton.
5 at the back. This is Brucey crack. This
it is. It really is.
It is Brucey crack.
So yeah, I'd
Callum Wilson up front, 5 at the back.
Literally.
What year is it?
So I'd rather see Kraft at right back than force like Botman in as a third centre back. Don't need it.
I've got a feeling after all this talk about, would you play Wilson, Asula, Gordon as the 9? I think he's at the start. I think you can see he's at the team sheet.
How's
it about 12% fit?
Because Botman may be out for the season. He's definitely not going to play against Arsenal. Might not even see him again on next season. Then, what's that? He's in the starting 11. Where's that come from? Joe Linton's meant to be out for the rest of the season. He's probably going to start.
Joe Linton, he's back.
Isak's going to start.
Go for the score.
Shearer's going to be back.
6-0
in goal.
Champions League. That's what was Shea Giffens in goal. Just what we need, a goalkeeper. Bring back Shea. That'll be absolutely lovely. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see he's on the team sheet on Sunday. And
at least from the
makes a goal, 1-0 up. 2-0 up, bring them off half time, 60 minutes, something like that. Could see it all day long. Some good news for us, though, Keg, is Everton are missing a few players as well, particularly the back line.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Wilson hat-trick incoming.
You didn't need it. He's like, I just keep Wilson in. Central defensive pair, James Tarkowski and Jared Branthwaite are both doubtful, as well as Seamus Coleman.
Ooh.
So 3 there, back 4.
Lovely.
Could be missing. I mean, the big one's Branthwaite, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a solid defender.
He is, yeah.
Branthwaite's obviously been top. He's been linked with a lot of clubs, including Newcastle in the past. But since Moisey returned at the Toffees, Geg, his side have lost just 2 of their 9 Premier League games away from Goodison, winning 4 and drawing the other 3. He's had some turnaround, Moisey.
He has, yeah, to be fair. It's a good record.
1-1 with Everton last year at St James's, won 1-0 the year before that. Miggy Alma won. 3-1 the year before that. When my trip over the wall, lovely stuff.
Oh, we were at that one, weren't we?
We're quality stuff.
Game. Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser as well. Dear me, that is a throwback, isn't it? But there we'll have it. Massive game on Sunday. Let us know what you are saying in the chat. I'm going 3-0 now. Bollocks to it.
3-1.
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
That'll see us get Champions League football.
Yeah, buddy.
Fingers crossed, everyone. Thanks a lot for tuning into the podcast, to all the live viewers on YouTube and those that are listening back on all audio platforms. You can find us on Spotify, Google, Apple, all them lovely places for your audio podcast needs. Subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV and enjoy yourself.